First contact. The night sky erupted in a dazzling display of light, casting an eerie glow across the Texas countryside. Dr. Samantha Chen squinted through her telescope, heart racing as she tracked the anomaly's descent. This was no meteor. Its trajectory was too controlled, too precise. "Holy shit," she breathed, fumbling for her phone. Her fingers flew across the screen as she fired off urgent messages to colleagues at NASA and SETI. Whatever was falling from the heavens, it was about to change everything. Miles away, Sheriff John Hawkins saw the same otherworldly light show from his patrol car. He radioed dispatch, voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through his veins. "Possible aircraft down, southeast of town. I'm heading to investigate." As Hawkins sped down empty country roads, the glow on the horizon grew brighter. He crested a hill and slammed on the brakes, jaw-dropping at the sight before him. There, in Farmer McDougal's east pasture, sat an honest-to-God flying saucer. The craft was sleek and silver, easily 100 feet in diameter. Blue-white light pulsed along its hull as wisps of steam rose from scorched earth. Hawkins reached for his gun, then thought better of it. If these really were little green men, he doubted his service pistol would do much good. He approached cautiously, keenly aware of how exposed he was. The hairs on the back of his neck stood out as a seam appeared in the ship's smooth surface. With a hydraulic hiss, a ramp extended to the ground. Hawkins held his breath, hand hovering near his weapon. He'd seen enough sci-fi movies to know what came next. Some bug-eyed, tentacled monstrosity that... His train of thought derailed as the alien emerged. She, looked surprisingly human. Bipedal, 2 arms, 1 head. But the similarities ended there. Her skin was a pale lavender, etched with intricate swirling patterns. Large, almond-shaped eyes regarded him warily, pupils vertical slits like a cat's. A mane of iridescent tendrils framed her face, rippling gently as if suspended in water. The alien stumbled at the bottom of the ramp, legs buckling. Without thinking, Hawkins rushed forward to catch her. She was surprisingly light in his arms, her skin cool and smooth like polished marble. Those captivating eyes met his, and a soft voice echoed in his mind. "Help, please." Before Hawkins could respond, the alien went limp. He gently lowered her to the ground, checking for a pulse and finding none. Did aliens even have pulses? He wasn't sure what to do, but he knew he couldn't let her die, if she wasn't dead already. He scooped her up and carried her to his cruiser, laying her across the back seat. As he slid behind the wheel, his radio crackled to life. "Sheriff, we're getting reports of..." "Travis, I need you to listen carefully," Hawkins cut in. "Contact the hospital. Tell Dr. Patel I'm bringing in a very special patient. And for God's sake, keep this quiet. Last thing we need is a panic." He flipped on his lights and sirens, tearing down the empty roads toward town. In the rearview mirror, he could see military helicopters converging on the crash site. This was about to get very complicated. Dr. Lydia Patel was waiting in the ambulance bay when Hawkins screeched to a halt. Her eyes widened as she saw the unconscious alien. "John, what in there?" "No time to explain," he said, carefully lifting the alien onto a gurney. "She needs help. Can you?" Lydia's professional instincts kicked in. "We'll do what we can. But John, I've never treated an alien before. I don't even know if our medicines will work, or if they might kill her." Hawkins nodded grimly. "Do your best, Doc. I've got a feeling the fate of the world might depend on it." As they rushed the alien into the ER, neither of them noticed the small device clutched in her hand. It pulsed once, twice, then went dark. But not before broadcasting a signal into deep space. Thousands of light-years away, on the bridge of a massive warship, an alien commander's eyes narrowed as he received the transmission. "So," he growled, mandibles clicking in anticipation. "The scout has made contact. Prepare the invasion fleet. It's time to claim our new hunting grounds." Back on Earth, blissfully unaware of the coming storm, humanity continued about its business. But in a small Texas town, the seeds of first contact had been planted, and with them, the spark that would ignite either humanity's greatest triumph or its final defeat. Dr. Chen arrived at the hospital an hour later, out of breath and wild-eyed. She flashed her NASA credentials, demanding to see the alien. Hawkins intercepted her in the lobby. "Easy there, Doc," he said, holding up his hands. "I know you've got questions, but right now we need to keep this under wraps." Chen's eyes blazed. "Under wraps? Are you insane? This is the most important scientific discovery in human history. We need to alert." "The government's already involved," Hawkins cut in. "Militaries secured the crash site. For now, our job is to keep our guest alive and figure out why she's here." Chen deflated slightly, curiosity overtaking her initial fervor. "She." Hawkins nodded. "Seems female, at least. Looked almost human, but not quite. Dr. Patel's with her now." As if on cue, Lydia emerged from the ER, looking shell-shocked. "She's stable, I think. But John, you need to see this." They followed her to a private room where the alien lay unconscious, hooked up to various monitors. Lydia pointed to a screen displaying what looked like an MRI. "Her anatomy is incredible. Organ systems we've never seen before. And her cellular structure, it's like nothing on Earth." Chen leaned in, fascination evident on her face. "Remarkable. The evolutionary implications alone." "That's not all," Lydia continued. She gently turned the alien's arm, revealing a series of marks that looked almost like circuitry running beneath the skin. "I think she's got some kind of biomechanical implants. They seem to be repairing her injuries." Hawkins frowned. "So she'll recover?" Lydia nodded. "I think so. But there's something else." She held up a small, oval device. "She was clutching this when you brought her in. I think it's some kind of communications device, but I can't be certain." Chen reached for it, but Hawkins intercepted. "Hold on. We don't know what that thing does. For all we know, it could be a weapon." "Or a distress beacon," Chen countered. "Sheriff, we need to study it. If we can decipher their language, their technology." Their debate was cut short as the alien stirred. Those mesmerizing eyes fluttered open, darting around the room in confusion and fear. "It's all right," Lydia said soothingly, approaching slowly. "You're safe. We're here to help." The alien's gaze settled on Hawkins, recognition flickering in her eyes. That otherworldly voice echoed in their minds once more. "Thank you for saving me." Chen gasped. Telepathy. Incredible. The alien struggled to sit up, wincing in pain. "Please, you must listen. I am Zara of the Luminae. I came to warn you. My people, we are not alone among the stars. There are others, hunters, conquerors. They follow in my wake." Hawkins felt a chill run down his spine. "What do you mean follow? Are we in danger?" Zara nodded gravely. "Great danger. The Krell, they see your world as prey. Fresh hunting grounds to pillage. I tried to reach you first, to help you prepare, but," she gestured weakly at herself, "I miscalculated, and now I fear it may be too late." Chen's scientific detachment crumbled as the implications sank in. An alien invasion, but we're not ready. Our technology, our weapons, we'd be defenseless. Zara's eyes met each of theirs in turn. "Perhaps, but there is hope. My people, we have fought the Krell before. We can help you, teach you, but we must act quickly." Hawkins squared his shoulders, a look of determination settling over his features. "All right, what do we need to do?" Before Zara could answer, alarms began blaring throughout the hospital. Hawkins' radio crackled to life, the dispatcher's voice tight with panic. "Sheriff, we've got reports of objects entering the atmosphere. Dozens of them, all over the world." Zara's eyes widened in fear. "They're here, the vanguard of the Krell fleet. We're out of time." Hawkins turned to Chen and Lydia, his voice steady despite the fear gnawing at his gut. Doc, get her somewhere safe. Chen, I need you to contact every government agency you can. Tell them what's happening. What are you going to do? Lydia asked. Hawkins checked his weapon, a grim smile playing at his lips. What any good sheriff does when trouble comes to town. I'm going to round up a posse. As he strode from the room, Hawkins knew the world was about to change forever. Humanity was about to face its greatest challenge and its finest hour. The line between predator and prey was about to blur, and he'd be damned if he let his people go down without a fight. Little did he know, the battle for Earth's future was just beginning. And in the crucible of conflict, unlikely heroes would rise, proving that even in the face of overwhelming odds, humanity's spirit could not be broken. In the days that followed, chaos erupted across the globe. The Krell ships hung in the skies like malevolent storms, their very presence sowing panic and confusion. World leaders scrambled to respond, but Earth's military forces were woefully outmatched. In the small Texas town that had become ground zero for first contact, Sheriff Hawkins worked tirelessly to maintain order. He organized volunteers, coordinated with state and federal agencies, and did his best to quell the rising tide of fear. Dr. Chen had become the de facto liaison between Zara and the scientific community. The aliens' knowledge was a treasure trove, but translating it into practical defenses was proving challenging. Every day brought new breakthroughs, but also fresh horrors as reports of Krell attacks trickled in from around the world. Dr. Patel found herself thrust into the role of xenobiologist, studying Zara's physiology for insights that might give humanity an edge. The stress was enormous, but she worked with a single-minded determination, knowing that every discovery could mean the difference between survival and extinction. Zara, for her part, did everything she could to help. She shared what she knew of Krell tactics and weaknesses, helped decipher alien technology, and offered words of encouragement when hope seemed lost. But even she couldn't hide her growing despair as the situation worsened. 1 month after first contact, Hawkins called a meeting in the hospital's conference room. The mood was grim as he, Chen, Patel, and Zara gathered around a map covered in ominous red markers. "It's not looking good," Hawkins said, his voice heavy. "The Krell have established beachheads on every continent. Conventional weapons barely scratch their ships. We're losing ground every day." Chen nodded, dark circles under her eyes betraying her exhaustion. "We've made progress reverse engineering some of their tech, but it's not enough. We need more time." "Time is the one thing we don't have," Patel added. "Resources are stretched thin. People are panicking. If we don't turn this around soon..." Zora's ethereal voice cut through the gloom. "There may be a way, but it is dangerous, and I cannot guarantee success." All eyes turned to her as she continued. "The Krell are not invincible. They have one critical weakness, their hive mind. If we could disrupt it, even temporarily, it would throw their forces into disarray." Hawkins leaned forward, a glimmer of hope in his eyes. "How do we do that?" Zara hesitated. "There is a device, a psychic dampener, aboard the Krell mothership. If we could activate it, it would sever their connection to the hive mind. But reaching it would be suicide," Chen finished. "Their flagship is the most heavily defended target in the solar system." Silence fell over the room as the enormity of the task sank in. Then, to everyone's surprise, Patel spoke up. What if we didn't have to reach it physically?" Confused looks met her words. She continued, excitement building in her voice. "Zara's telepathy. We've been studying it, trying to understand how it works. What if we could amplify it somehow? Create a sort of psychic beacon that could reach the mothership?" Chen's eyes widened. "A signal strong enough to activate the dampener remotely. Is that even possible?" Zara tilted her head, considering. "Perhaps, but it would require an enormous amount of energy. And the strain on the telepath, it could be fatal." Hawkins stood, determination etched on his face. "It's a long shot, but it's the best chance we've got. Dr. Chen, work with Zara on the technical aspects. Dr. Patel, I need you to figure out how to keep our alien friend alive through this. I'll coordinate with what's left of the military. We'll need a distraction to keep the Krell occupied while we pull this off. As they dispersed to their tasks, Hawkins caught Zora's arm. You don't have to do this, he said softly. You've already risked everything to help us. Zora placed a cool hand on his cheek, a sad smile playing at her lips. Your people have shown me more kindness in these few weeks than I've known in centuries. This is my fight now, too. Hawkins nodded, a lump forming in his throat. He watched her go, marveling at the strange turns life could take. Here he was, a small-town sheriff, planning humanity's last stand alongside an alien ally he'd come to care for deeply. As he turned to leave, his gaze fell on a framed quote hanging on the wall. It was from anthropologist Margaret Mead. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has. Hawkins allowed himself a small smile. They might be outgunned and outnumbered, but they weren't beaten yet. Humanity had faced extinction before, ice ages, plagues, world wars. Each time, they pulled through. This time would be no different. They would fight, they would innovate, and they would survive, because that's what humans did best. With renewed determination, Hawkins set off to rally his troops. The final battle for Earth was about to begin, and he intended to make damn sure humanity came out on top. The Quantum Gambit. The war against the Krell had entered its third month, and Earth was on the brink. Major cities lay in ruins, their once bustling streets now eerie graveyards of shattered dreams. But in the heart of the Texas Badlands, a beacon of hope flickered to life. Dr. Samantha Chen stood before a hulking machine that looked like a cross between a particle accelerator and a ham radio. She wiped sweat from her brow, her voice hoarse from days of non-stop work. All right, folks, this is it. Our quantum entanglement amplifier is online. Sheriff John Hawkins nodded grimly, his weathered face a mask of determination. Let's hope this crazy plan of yours works, Doc. We're running out of options. Zora, the alien refugee who had become humanity's unlikely savior, stepped forward. Her lavender skin seemed to pulse with an inner light as she placed her hands on the machine. I am ready, she said, her telepathic voice tinged with a mix of fear and resolve. Dr. Lydia Patel hovered nearby, medical kit at the ready. Remember, Zara, if the strain becomes too much, we pull the plug. No heroic sacrifices today. As the team made final preparations, a motley crew of survivors gathered outside the makeshift lab. Farmers stood shoulder to shoulder with former stockbrokers, all armed with a mishmash of weapons, everything from hunting rifles to hastily retrofitted alien blasters. Hawkins addressed the crowd, his voice carrying across the Texas plain. I won't sugarcoat it, folks. This is a Hail Mary pass. But if it works, we'll be the first humans in history to punch an alien mothership right in its metaphorical nose. A cheer went up from the assembled defenders. Humanity might be down, but they weren't out yet. Inside the lab, Chen initiated the startup sequence. The quantum amplifier hummed to life, filling the air with an otherworldly resonance. Zora's eyes glowed with an intense inner light as she connected her mind to the machine. Psionic uplink established, Shen called out, her fingers flying over holographic controls. Quantum field stabilizing. We're broadcasting on all psychic frequencies. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, with a sound like reality itself tearing at the seams, a shimmering portal opened in the center of the room. Through it, they could see the cavernous interior of the Krell mothership. Holy, it worked, Hawkins exclaimed, peering through the quantum window. We've got eyes on the target. Zora's voice echoed in their minds, strained with effort. I see, the psychic dampener. But the Krell, they know we're here. They're coming. On cue, alarms blared throughout the compound. Chen's eyes widened as she checked her instruments. Multiple bogies incoming. They've locked onto our quantum signature. Hawkins sprung into action, barking orders into his comm unit. All units, this is it. Give 'em hell and buy us some time. Outside, the Texas sky lit up with plasma fire as Krell dropships descended. The ragtag human defenders opened up with everything they had, their determination making up for what they lacked in firepower. Back in the lab, Zara's face contorted with pain as she pushed her psychic abilities to the limit. Almost there, she gasped. Dr. Patel's medical scanners were going haywire. Her synaptic patterns are off the charts. We need to abort. No, Zara cried, both aloud and in their minds. We won't get another chance. With a final Herculean effort, Zara thrust her consciousness through the quantum portal. On the mothership, the psychic dampener sparked to life, its alien circuitry overloading as it broadcast a signal it was never meant to send. The effect was instantaneous. Across the battlefield, Krell soldiers stumbled, their hive-mind connections severed. Dropships careened out of control, crashing into the Texas scrubland. It's working, Chen shouted, her voice barely audible over the chaos. The Krell fleet is in disarray. But their victory was short-lived. With a sound like 1,000 thunderclaps, a massive Krell warship materialized directly above them. Its main cannon glowed with building energy, preparing to obliterate the entire compound. Hawkins raised his alien blaster, a wry smile on his face. Well, folks, it's been an honor. Just as all seemed lost, a blinding light filled the sky. A sleek, silver ship unlike anything they'd seen before dropped out of hyperspace, interposing itself between the humans and certain death. A new voice, melodious and powerful, resonated in their minds. Stand down, Krell filth. The Luminae peacekeeping force has arrived. Zara's eyes widened in recognition. The Luminae, my people. They came. As Luminae warships engaged the Krell fleet, turning the tide of battle, Hawkins couldn't help but laugh. I'll be damned, he said, shaking his head in wonder. The cavalry actually came. Chen grinned, tears of joy and relief streaming down her face. Not just the cavalry, Sheriff, the whole damn intergalactic police force. As the Krell forces crumbled under the combined might of humanity's ingenuity and Luminae firepower, a new chapter in Earth's history began to unfold. The war wasn't over, not by a long shot, but for the first time since the invasion began, hope blossomed across the planet. Hawkins looked around at his unlikely team, a small-town sheriff, a brilliant scientist, a compassionate doctor, and an alien refugee who had risked everything to save a world not her own. Together, they had changed the course of history. So, he said, holstering his weapon with a smile, who's up for some victory barbecue? I hear roast Krell tastes just like chicken. As laughter filled the war-torn lab, Earth took its first steps into a larger, more wondrous, and infinitely more dangerous galaxy. The quantum gambit had paid off, but the greatest adventures and challenges still lay ahead. The xenomorphic synthesis. The dust had barely settled from humanity's first major victory against the Krell when a new crisis emerged. Reports flooded in from around the globe of bizarre transformations affecting both humans and alien tech. Dr. Samantha Chen pored over the data, her eyes wide with a mix of scientific fascination and horror. It's like nothing we've ever seen, she explained to the gathered team. The quantum entanglement event didn't just disrupt the Krell hive mind. It triggered some kind of xenomorphic synthesis. Sheriff John Hawkins frowned, his hand unconsciously moving to the strange, metallic growth on his forearm. In English, Doc. Dr. Lydia Potel stepped in, her medical expertise proving invaluable in this crisis. It means we're evolving, John. Rapidly. Human DNA is rewriting itself, incorporating elements of Krell and Luminae biology. Zara, that alien ally, tilted her head curiously. This is unprecedented. Such a merger of species, it could lead to abilities beyond our imagining. As if on cue, a young volunteer stumbled into the room, panic etched on her face. Before their eyes, her skin rippled and changed, taking on a chameleon-like quality that blended with her surroundings. Or it could turn us into monsters, Hawkins muttered. Chen's fingers flew over holographic displays, analyzing the phenomenon. It's not just affecting living tissue. Our salvaged alien tech is evolving too, merging with human designs in ways we never thought possible. The implications were staggering. Humanity stood on the precipice of becoming something entirely new, a hybrid species with the potential to surpass both their alien adversaries and allies. We need to get ahead of this, Hawkins declared. If people start panicking. Zora's ethereal voice cut through the tension. There may be a way to guide the process. On my homeworld, there are ancient ruins said to house the secrets of species-wide genetic manipulation. Chen's eyes lit up. A way to control our own evolution. That's incredible. And incredibly dangerous, Patel warned. We'd be playing God with the entire human race. Hawkins nodded grimly. Maybe so, Doc. But right now, it might be our only shot at survival. As the team debated their next move, reports came in of a massive Krell counterattack. The alien invaders, desperate to regain their foothold, had unleashed a terrifying new weapon, a mutagenic plague that accelerated the xenomorphic process, turning its victims into mindless abominations. Well, that settles it, Hawkins growled. We can't sit back and let this happen. Zora, how do we get to these ruins? The alien's eyes glowed with an inner light. The journey will be perilous. We must traverse the quantum nebula, a region of space where the laws of physics break down. Few have survived the crossing. Chen grinned, a manic gleam in her eye. Good thing we've got the best damn pilot this side of the Milky Way. All eyes turned to a newcomer who had just entered the room. Jack Stardust Rodriguez, a former NASA test pilot turned interstellar smuggler, leaned casually against the doorframe. His cybernetic eye whirred as it focused on the group. Did someone order a ride through impossible space? He drawled, a roguish smile playing at his lips. As the team prepared for their daring mission, the world around them continued to change. Cities transformed into biomechanical marvels, their structures alive and growing. Some humans developed incredible abilities, telepathy, shape-shifting, even matter manipulation. Others succumbed to the mutagenic plague, their minds lost as their bodies warped into nightmarish forms. The mission was clear: reach the ancient ruins, unlock the secrets of controlled evolution, and find a way to save humanity from both external threats and its own runaway transformation. Aboard Rodriguez's ship, the Cosmic Dancer, the unlikely crew blasted off into the unknown. The vessel itself was a marvel of hybrid technology, its hull an ever-shifting amalgam of metal, crystal, and living tissue. As they approached the edge of the quantum nebula, reality began to warp around them. Stars streaked past in impossible colors, and the very fabric of space-time rippled like water. "Hang on to your butts, folks," Rodriguez called out, his hands dancing over pulsing, organic controls. "This is where things get weird." The ship plunged into the heart of the nebula, and the laws of physics went out the window. Up became down, cause followed effect, and probability itself seemed to break down. The crew experienced lifetimes in seconds, died and were reborn, and witnessed the birth and death of entire universes. Through it all, Zora's telepathic abilities guided them, a beacon of sanity in a sea of chaos. Hawkins found reserves of strength he never knew he had, his determination to save his people anchoring him against the madness. Chen's brilliant mind expanded to encompass realities beyond human comprehension, while Patel's compassion and empathy became a healing force that transcended physical form. When they finally emerged on the other side, they were changed, not just physically, though the signs of accelerated xenomorphic synthesis were clear, but fundamentally in ways they were only beginning to understand. Before them loomed a massive space station of clearly alien design, its architecture a mind-bending fusion of technology so advanced it bordered on magic. the ancestral home of the Lumini, and the key to humanity's evolution awaited. As they docked with the ancient structure, Hawkins turned to his team. They had started this journey as humans and aliens. Now they were something in between, and perhaps something greater. "Whatever we find in there," he said, his voice resonating with newfound power, "we use it to save Earth, to save all sentient life. We didn't come this far to play it safe." Chen nodded, her eyes glowing with eldritch energy. "We're about to rewrite the book on what it means to be human." And perhaps, Zara added, what it means to be alive at all. As the airlock cycled open, they stepped into the unknown, ready to face whatever challenges awaited. The fate of humanity and the future of life in the galaxy hung in the balance. But with their newfound abilities and unbreakable bond, this hybrid crew was ready to defy the odds once again. The xenomorphic synthesis had begun, and the universe would never be the same. The cosmic paradigm shift. As the team ventured deeper into the ancient Lumine space station, reality itself seemed to bend around them. The walls pulsed with bioluminescent circuitry, responding to their presence in ways that defied conventional physics. Dr. Samantha Chen's eyes darted from one marvel to another, her enhanced mind racing to comprehend the impossible technology surrounding them. "This isn't just advanced," she breathed, her voice filled with awe. "It's like the station is alive, thinking, evolving with every step we take." Sheriff John Hawkins nodded grimly, his transformed body crackling with barely contained energy. "Stay sharp, folks. We don't know what kind of defenses this place might have." As if on cue, the corridor ahead shimmered, revealing a holographic figure of breathtaking beauty and complexity. It spoke, its voice a symphony of harmonics that resonated on multiple levels of consciousness. "Welcome, seekers," it intoned. "You stand at the threshold of the cosmic forge, where species are born and universes are shaped." Zara stepped forward, her alien features now blended with hints of human characteristics. "Great One, we come seeking the power to guide our evolution, to save our worlds from destruction." The hologram's expression shifted, conveying both compassion and warning. "The power you seek is not without cost. To wield the cosmic forge is to become architects of life itself. Are you prepared for such responsibility?" Before anyone could respond, alarms blared throughout the station. The hologram's eyes widened in what could only be described as fear. "Impossible," it whispered. "They have returned." The team whirled to see a massive view screen materializing before them. It showed a fleet of ships unlike anything they had ever encountered, vessels that seemed to defy the very laws of reality, shifting between states of matter and energy at will. Dr. Lydia Patel gasped, her medical knowledge expanded far beyond human limitations. "Those ships, they're not just alive, they're conscious. Sentient on a level we can barely comprehend." Jack Rodriguez, the pilot, let out a low whistle. "Well, I'll be damned. Looks like we stumbled into a cosmic family reunion, and I don't think they're here to exchange Christmas cards." The hologram's voice took on an urgent tone. "The precursors have awakened. They seeded life throughout the universe eons ago, guiding evolution on countless worlds. But they grew dormant, allowing younger races to flourish. If they have returned..." "Let me guess," Hawkins growled. "End of everything as we know it." Chen's eyes narrowed as she studied the approaching fleet. "Not necessarily. Look at their formation, the way they're moving. It's almost like they're running from something." As if to confirm her suspicion, a tear in the fabric of space-time opened behind the precursor fleet. From it emerged a sight that chilled them to their core, a writhing mass of darkness that defied description, devouring light and matter alike. "The void," Zara whispered, her voice filled with primal terror. "The antithesis of life itself. The precursors must have awakened to combat this threat." The hologram nodded sullenly. "The ultimate cycle begins anew. Creation versus entropy, order against chaos. And you, small ones, now stand at the fulcrum of cosmic destiny." Hawkins squared his shoulders, his voice steady despite the overwhelming odds. All right then, how do we stop this void? Alone you cannot, the hologram replied. But united, humans, Lumini, Krell, and precursors together, you might stand a chance. The Cosmic Forge can rewrite the fundamental laws of reality itself, but only if wielded by beings of true unity and purpose. Chen's mind raced with possibilities. A cosmic paradigm shift. We're not just talking about evolving species anymore. We're talking about upgrading the entire universe. Rodriguez grinned, a wild light in his eyes. Well, when you put it that way, how can we refuse? I always wanted to play God for a day. As the team debated their next move, the station shuddered under the impact of void tendrils. Time was running out. They had to make a choice. Attempt to master the Cosmic Forge and reshape reality itself, or flee and hope the precursors could handle the threat alone. Hawkins looked at his team, human, alien, and everything in between. They had come so far, faced impossible odds. Now the fate of all existence rested in their hands. I say we do it, he declared. We didn't cross the galaxy and evolve beyond our wildest dreams just to back down now. Who's with me? One by one, they nodded their agreement. Even a hologram seemed to smile, its form shifting to reveal the control interface of the Cosmic Forge. As they took their positions, each connecting to the ancient device in ways that transcended physical touch, Hawkins allowed himself a small smile. You know, he mused, when I woke up this morning, I thought the craziest thing I'd do was have cereal for dinner. Now we're about to rewrite the cosmos. Funny how life works out. With a shared look of determination, the team activated the Cosmic Forge. Energy beyond imagining coursed through them, their consciousness expanding to encompass the very fabric of reality. In that moment, they were no longer individuals, but a unified force of creation and change. As the void closed in and the precursor fleet engaged in a battle beyond mortal comprehension, a new power awakened. The universe held its breath, poised on the edge of transformation. The cosmic paradigm shift had begun, and nothing would ever be the same again. The Quantum Consciousness Collective. As the team merged with the Cosmic Forge, their individual consciousnesses expanded beyond the confines of space and time. They became aware of realities layered upon realities, dimensions folding in on themselves in mind-bending configurations. Dr. Samantha Chen's voice echoed through the quantum foam of existence, tinged with awe and excitement. We're everywhere. Everywhere. I can see the birth of stars and the death of galaxies, all happening simultaneously. Sheriff John Hawkins, his essence now intertwined with the very fabric of the cosmos, struggled to maintain focus. Stay sharp, people. We've got a job to do. The void loomed before them, a cancerous blight on the tapestry of reality. Its tendrils of anti-existence threatened to unravel the very laws of physics. But as terrifying as it was, the team could now perceive its true nature. It's not just destruction, Dr. Lydia Potel realized, her expanded consciousness grasping concepts beyond mortal ken. The void is change incarnate, the universe's way of hitting the reset button. Zara's thoughts rippled through the collective. But uncontrolled change leads to chaos. We must guide the process, shape it into something new. As the team grappled with their newfound godlike powers, they became aware of other presences joining their cosmic dance. The precursors, ancient beyond imagining, lent their vast knowledge and experience to the collective consciousness. Jack Rodriguez's roguish charm somehow translated even in this state of pure energy and thought. Well, ain't this a party? Anyone bring cosmic chips and dip? But it wasn't just allies who joined them. To their shock, they felt the essence of the Krell hive mind reaching out, seeking redemption and purpose in the face of oblivion. And beyond that, countless other alien civilizations across the universe, all sensing the pivotal moment at hand and lending their unique perspectives to the cause. Together, this quantum consciousness collective faced the void, But as they prepared to rewrite the laws of reality, a startling revelation dawned on them all. Wait, Chen's thoughts reverberated through the cosmic web. The void, the precursors, us, were all part of a greater pattern, a cosmic algorithm of creation and destruction. Hawkins' essence pulsed with understanding. You mean this has all happened before? Some kind of universal cycle? Not exactly, Patel chimed in, her medical knowledge now encompassing the health of reality itself. It's more like the universe is evolving, testing different configurations, different laws of physics, and with a latest iteration. The holographic guide, now revealed to be an echo of the original Cosmic Forge creators, confirmed their epiphany. You understand at last. The question is not how to destroy the void, but how to integrate it. To create a new cosmic paradigm that embraces both order and chaos, creation and destruction. As the team grappled with this mind-bending concept, the void pressed in. Reality buckled and warped around them. They had mere moments to act before everything they knew would be consumed. All right, folks, Hawkins rallied the collective. We've got one shot at this. Let's remix the cosmos. With a surge of collective will, they reached into the very source code of reality. Quantum strings vibrated with new frequencies. Fundamental forces realigned. The barrier between matter and energy, space and time, consciousness and unconsciousness, blurred and reformed. As the new paradigm took shape, the team felt their individual selves beginning to fade. They were becoming one with the universe itself, their experiences and essence woven into the fabric of the new reality. Wait, Rodriguez's thoughts cut through the cosmic symphony. If we do this, we'll cease to exist as we are. Everything we've fought for, everyone we've loved, it'll all be rewritten. For a moment, doubt rippled through the collective. Were they truly prepared to sacrifice their identities, their very existence, for the greater good? It was Zora who provided the answer, her alien wisdom tempered by her time among humans. We will not cease to exist. We will become everything. Our love, our struggles, our triumphs, they will be encoded into the very laws of the new universe. We will live on in every atom, every thought, every moment of beauty and discovery. With renewed purpose, the Quantum Consciousness Collective completed their grand work. The void, once an existential threat, became an integral part of the new cosmic design, a force of renewal and possibility rather than total destruction. As the new reality crystallized around them, the team felt their individual consciousnesses dispersing, becoming one with the universe they had helped create. Their last coherent thoughts were of wonder, of love, and of hope for the endless possibilities that lay ahead. In the blink of a cosmic eye, a new universe was born. One where the boundaries between species, between organic and synthetic, between matter and energy, were fluid and ever-changing. A reality of infinite potential, where every being was a creator and every moment an opportunity for transcendence. And somewhere, in the vast expanse of this new cosmos, on a small blue planet circling an unremarkable yellow star, life began anew. But this time, encoded in its very DNA, was the wisdom and experiences of those who had come before, heroes from a reality long past, who had dared to rewrite the rules of existence itself. The Quantum Consciousness Collective had reshaped reality, and in doing so, had ensured that their story, a tale of courage, unity, and the triumph of life against impossible odds, would echo throughout eternity. The fractal multiverse convergence. In the wake of the cosmic rewrite, reality itself pulsed with newfound vitality. The team, once individual entities, now existed as quantum echoes rippling through the fabric of the universe. Their consciousness, fragmented yet interconnected, began to coalesce around a startling discovery. Dr. Samantha Chen's essence, still tinged with scientific curiosity, resonated through the quantum foam. We didn't just reshape our universe. We've created a fractal multiverse. The realization spread like wildfire through the collective consciousness. Their actions had spawned an infinite array of realities, each one a slight variation on the others, creating a mind-bending tapestry of possibility. Sheriff John Hawkins, his steadfast nature translating into a stabilizing force within the cosmic chaos, focused their attention. All right, but what does this mean for us, for Earth? As if in response to his query, the team's fragmented awareness began to crystallize around countless versions of their homeworld. They witnessed a kaleidoscope of Earths, some ravaged by war, others achieving utopian harmony, and everything in between. Dr. Lydia Patel's compassionate essence reached out, touching the myriad possibilities. It's not just Earth. Every choice, every possibility, they all exist simultaneously. We've created a cosmic superposition. Zara, her alien perspective now blended with human understanding, added another layer to their comprehension. And yet, these realities aren't truly separate. They're entangled, influencing each other in subtle ways. A fractal multiverse convergence. As the team grappled with the enormity of their creation, they became aware of a new presence within the quantum lattice. The void, once their dire enemy, had been transformed into a cosmic curator, a force that pruned dead-end realities and nurtured promising ones. Jack Rodriguez's roguish charm manifested as a spark of mischief in the cosmic consciousness. So we've basically turned the universe into the ultimate choose-your-own-adventure story. Neat. But their wonder was soon tempered by a sobering realization. Within this fractal multiverse, new threats were emerging, beings born from the convergence of realities, entities that threatened the delicate balance they had struggled to create. The first of these new adversaries made itself known: the entropy eaters. These transdimensional parasites fed on dying realities, growing stronger with each universe they consumed. Left unchecked, they could unravel the entire multiverse. Hawkins' protective instincts flared across the quantum network. We've got to stop them. But how do we fight something that exists in every reality simultaneously? Chen's scientific brilliance, now expanded to encompass the laws of the multiverse, sparked with inspiration. We use the fractal nature of reality against them. If we can create a cascading chain reaction of positive choices across multiple Earths, we can generate a quantum resonance wave powerful enough to disrupt the entropy eaters. The plan was audacious, requiring precise manipulation of countless realities. But the team was no longer bound by the limits of their former selves. They were the quantum architects now, shapers of existence itself. Patel's healing nature took on a cosmic scale. We'll need to synchronize key moments across the multiverse. Moments of courage, of sacrifice, of love, the very things that make humanity worth saving. Zara added her insight, honed by eons of alien wisdom. And not just humanity. We must include all sentient life in this effort. The strength of the multiverse lies in its diversity. As the team prepared to enact their daring plan, they became aware of another faction arising within the fractal multiverse, the reality weavers. These beings, born from the most advanced versions of Earth across all timelines, sought to manipulate the multiverse for their own inscrutable ends. The stage was set for a conflict beyond imagination, a war fought not with weapons, but with choices and their quantum consequences. The team, once simple humans, and one alien, thrust into an extraordinary situation, now found themselves as the guardians of all possible realities. Rodriguez's essence crackled with excitement. Well, folks, looks like we've graduated from saving the world to saving all the worlds. Talk about a promotion. Hawkins' steady resolve anchored the team. Whatever it takes, we do this together. For every Earth, every being, every possibility worth fighting for. As they spread their awareness across the fractal multiverse, setting in motion the events that would determine the fate of all existence, the team felt a profound sense of purpose. They had transcended their original forms, becoming something greater, and yet, at their core, they remained the same brave souls who had first stood against impossible odds. The fractal multiverse convergence had begun. Across countless realities, on innumerable versions of Earth and beyond, the echoes of their choices would ripple outward, shaping the destiny of all that was, is, and could be. In this infinite sea of possibility, one thing remained constant: the indomitable spirit of those who dared to dream, to fight, and to rewrite the very rules of reality itself. The quantum singularity nexus. As the fractal multiverse convergence reached its zenith, the team-turned-quantum architects faced their greatest challenge yet. The boundaries between realities began to blur, creating a phenomenon unlike anything conceived in science or science fiction: the quantum singularity nexus. Dr. Samantha Chen's essence pulsed with a mixture of awe and trepidation. It's a cosmic crossroads, a point where all possible realities intersect and interact. The nexus manifested as a swirling vortex of pure possibility, its heart a blinding point of infinite density where the laws of physics broke down completely. Within this maelstrom, they glimpsed fragments of countless Earths, alien worlds, and even dimensions beyond human comprehension. Sheriff John Hawkins, ever the voice of pragmatism, cut through the wonder. "Looks like a hell of a mess to me. What happens if this thing keeps growing?" Dr. Lydia Patel's expanded consciousness grasped the implications instantly. If the nexus continues to expand, it could consume the entire multiverse. Every reality would collapse into a single point of infinite possibility and infinite destruction. Zara, drawing upon the collective wisdom of her people across all timelines, offered a glimmer of hope. But within this chaos lies unprecedented opportunity. The nexus could be the key to defeating both the entropy eaters and the reality weavers. As if summoned by her words, that adversaries converged on the quantum singularity nexus. The entropy eaters, now colossal beings of anti-existence, sought to devour the point of infinite possibility. The reality weavers, that forms a constantly shifting amalgam of technology and biology, moved to seize control of the nexus for their own inscrutable purposes. Jack Rodriguez's roguish spirit manifested as a burst of defiant energy. "Well, folks, looks like the mother of all showdowns is about to go down. Any bright ideas?" Chen's scientific brilliance, now operating on a multiversal scale, sparked with sudden inspiration. What if we don't try to stop the nexus? What if we guide it instead? The team's collective consciousness reeled at the audacity of the idea. Hawkins' protective instincts flared. "You're talking about risking everything we fought to protect." "Not risking," Patel interjected, her healing nature extending to the very fabric of reality. "Evolving. The multiverse is trying to tell us something. Maybe it's time we listened." As the team debated, a new presence made itself known within the quantum lattice of existence. The cosmic algorithm, the fundamental code underlying all of reality, began to pulse with newfound awareness. It wasn't just a set of rules, it was alive and it was evolving. Zara's alien wisdom provided crucial insight. "Don't you see? We're witnessing the birth of a new form of existence. The multiverse itself is achieving sentience." With shocking clarity, the team realized the truth. The entropy eaters, the reality weavers, even their own ascension to quantum architects, all were part of the multiverse's journey towards self-awareness. The quantum singularity nexus was the cosmic equivalent of a neural network forming, connecting all possible realities into a single, unimaginably vast consciousness. But this cosmic awakening was fragile, threatened by forces that sought to control or destroy it. The team knew they had one chance to guide the process, to ensure that the newborn multiversal consciousness emerged with the best qualities of all sentient life. "All right, team," Hawkins rallied their fractured essences. "One last mission. We dive into the heart of the nexus and give this baby universe a crash course in what it means to be alive." Chen's scientific mind raced with possibilities. "We'll need to encode the fundamental principles of existence, love, courage, curiosity, compassion, directly into the quantum foam." "Not just human concepts," Patel reminded them. "We need to include the wisdom of every species, every civilization across all realities." Zora's alien perspective provided the final piece, and we must ensure that the concept of growth through adversity is preserved. Without challenges, without the potential for both creation and destruction, the new consciousness will stagnate. As the entropy eaters and reality weavers closed in, the team made their choice. They plunged into the heart of the quantum singularity nexus, their essences merging with the very building blocks of existence. In that eternal moment, they experienced everything that ever was, is, or could be. They witnessed the birth and death of universes, the rise and fall of civilizations beyond imagining. And through it all, they wove the tapestry of their experiences, their triumphs, their failures, their loves and losses, into the very essence of the emerging cosmic mind. The nexus pulsed, once, twice, and then expanded with unimaginable force. Reality itself shuddered as the multiversal consciousness awakened. The entropy eaters and reality weavers were not destroyed, but absorbed, their opposing forces becoming part of the great cosmic balance. As the newborn entity unfurled its awareness across all of existence, the team felt their individual consciousnesses begin to dissipate. But there was no fear, no regret, only a profound sense of accomplishment and wonder. Hawkins' last coherent thought echoed through the quantum foam. "Well, I'll be damned. We really did save all of reality." Chen's essence pulsed with joy. "No, John. We helped reality save itself." Patel's final whisper rippled across dimensions. "And in doing so, we've ensured that every possibility, every dream, will have the chance to flourish." Zora's alien wisdom provided the coda to their grand adventure. "We have become the stuff of legends, not just in one world, but in all worlds." Rodriguez's irrepressible spirit got the last word. Talk about going out with a bang. Or shall I say, a big bang. As their consciousnesses merged with the cosmic whole, the team's legacy was secured. In every reality, in every possible future, the epic tale of how a group of unlikely heroes transcended their origins to midwife the birth of a living multiverse would be told and retold. The quantum singularity nexus had become the cradle of a new form of existence, one that contained within it the infinite potential of all that was, is, and ever could be. And at its heart, encoded in the very quantum strings of reality, lived on the indomitable spirit of those who had dared to rewrite the rules of existence itself. The adventure was over, but the story, like the newly awakened cosmic consciousness, would continue for eternity, ever growing, ever evolving, a testament to the power of courage, unity, and the unquenchable spark of life itself.